And welcome to another episode of Brothers Arguing Sports. I'm Zav. Across the Zoom is TD. And today we're going to debate what's the biggest reason the Nuggets lost. TD, you predicted them to win back to back. You've been on them even when they were down 2-0. You were convinced they were going to win. What were you so wrong about? Why were you so wrong about the Nuggets?
You know what? I'll take one on the chin when I think I'm wrong. This one, I don't think I was wrong on the nut. I think they threw this away. This was a brutal throwaway. You say, what's the biggest reason they lost?
Yep.
Hear all this nonsense. People are saying all they needed, their bench guys, Bruce Brown, whatever. This is why they lost. They lost due to massive game mismanagement in the third quarter. Just shocking, because this is a team I trust so much for their smarts and everything. Massive game management in the third. Let me explain. First of all, they had this game won. All right. Everything went to plan. Joker was dominating the rebounds. They were doubling Ant. They shut him down. They even got points off the bench. Brown, hold on. Brown was killing it. Everything was going to plan. They had a 15-point lead in halftime. Then you always worry, okay, are the T-Wolves going to come out and start the third strong? No. The Nuggets even extended the lead in the third. It was over. You got a 20-point lead in the third, and you got the best walk them down team in the NBA. You got, Murray the Zav. One thing you'll agree. Is there a better two-way game in the league than Joker, Murray, working their pick and roll?
No, but let's just make your point because you're so wrong. But anyway.
Massive game mismanagement, and here it is. And on my life, when Murray took this three, I said to myself, this better not be the moment they lose this game. 7:58 to go in the third quarter. It's 59-43. You got a 15-point lead. Joker gets a rebound, and he does that, quarterback pass, fast break to Murray. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to stretch this lead now. Murray pulls up and jacks a three at the beginning of the shot clock. And here's all Denver's shot from then on in those 5 minutes. Murray missed that. No surprise, 25-foot three. Next shot, Joker misses 26-foot from three. They're the D'Antoni Suns here. Next shot, Murray misses 20-foot three. I'm thinking, what are you guys doing? You got a lead. It's the almost end of the third quarter. Next shot, Porter misses 26 from three. Next shot, Murray misses 26 from three. Pope misses step back.
All right, let's go.
Brown hits a floater. Joker misses 26-foot three. And that 5-minute stretch of just abandoning the best walk him down offense in the league. Now all of a sudden it's 61-57. Now it's a crapshoot. They lost the game in that just meltdown mode for 5 minutes. That's what I got to say.
All right, Teddy, unfortunately, your love of Joker has blinded you from reality. Because the truth is they lost because they were not built to go back to back. I told you last June, winning back to back is very hard. Your beloved Warriors with Steph and Clay and Draymond and Iguodala and Livingston, they couldn't go back to back. They had to go get KD. Your beloved Spurs, they couldn't go back to back. And we know how good they were. The Heat, the only reason they got back to back with that stacked team, young LeBron, because of Ray Allen hit a great, amazing three, but they had that veteran off the bench. This team was not built to be a dynasty back to back. You've said it yourself. They rely on Jokic. Murray doesn't carry them. Murray is in and out of games. He's clutch, but he doesn't carry the water. The point is they lost that game because Jokic he got to sit about 1 minute the whole game, and he got tired the second half. That's what happened. The second half, TD, you can't just say, oh, well, they had a 20-point lead. The Lakers had 20-point leads against the Nuggets all the time. They still lost. Because LeBron
not late in the third quarter.
It was the third. TD,
the game 7 at home, reigning champions, and that was a meltdown. Are you saying that the T-Wolves won the game or the Nuggets lost?
The T-Wolves were a better team. The T-Wolves, TD, the game wasn't even close. The game wasn't close. They were killing him at the end. It wasn't like they won by a buzzer beater.
This is Zav. By
TD,
then, it's a crapshoot. It's
it's not a
anyone.
crapshoot. TD, they outwar them because the team is deeper and younger. That's
Well, let me ask
Jokic
you this
had
then, Zav.
nothing
Zav.
left. TD,
No,
Jokic had nothing left.
and Zav. Okay, I'm agreeing, but you know what I'm saying? Massive game mismanagement.
There was,
He always gets a rest in the third, Zav.
I know, but he
Always.
couldn't.
No, because they mismanaged it.
TD.
They had this huge lead.
What happened game 6,
Hold
TD?
on, Zav. They
Okay.
had this whole lead. No, but I'm agreeing with you. But they blew it because they had the lead. Then I'm calling just a 5-minute brain fart, and all of a sudden they pulled their heads out of it, Zav.
You're trying to reason a 7-game series in 5 minutes. What happened game 6? They got blown out of the water. One of
And
the
you give
biggest
him that.
upsets.
No, but Zav, I'll give him that win. I'll give him
They were,
game 6.
TD, they won. They were better.
No,
The Nuggets,
that was Zav. That was Minnesota's game. I'll even give Minnesota game 1 because
and game
Naz,
2, they
hold
killed
on,
them.
Zav.
Okay.
Because Naz Reid, he took it. He scored 11 straight fourth quarter clutch points. You know what I say? Congrats. Give it. What hurt so much about game 7 is there was no great performance from anyone on the T-Wolves. It was just a miserable streak from the Nuggets.
TD, they wore them out.
That's what
The
hurt.
Nuggets couldn't keep up. All right, so you think the Warrior, TD, we could argue. You know who else said the Nuggets were better? Jokic. Jokic said, they asked him after the game, do you see this as a rivalry? You know what he said? Yeah,
What?
this team is built to beat us. And he went through their whole roster. They've got this, they've got that. They've got Connolly, the most underrated player. They've got this guy, Naz Reid, off the bench.
Well, you know what? That's Joker should have taken more
No,
responsibility.
you gotta. He had nothing left. Malone said it.
Malone blew it, Zav.
He-
Malone blew it.
Yeah, do you know what Malone said?
Rest Joker. Zav, how many times have you seen Joker jack up 10 threes in a game?
Because he was tired. He was
Exactly.
tired.
Exactly.
He-
It's because Zav, why couldn't Malone rest him in the third? Because they blew their lead. Now you can't take Joker out. Now
Because
you can't take him out. They blew it by blowing that lead.
Malone said this team was dead. They were done. He said, we have to play our starters so many minutes. They had nothing left. We had a long run last year. We played till June. We had to play our guys to get the number 2 seed. We had nothing left. It's only the second round. They could have lost to the Mavs. You don't build a dynasty and win back-to-back when you have zero bench. You have nothing. They got 4 points from Christian Braun.
Okay, Zav.
Then
No,
you
Braun
can't-
had a good game, Zav. Braun had a
I
good
know,
game.
but TD, I just named you the teams who went back. The teams who go back to back are built dynasties.
All right,
This
Zav.
Nuggets team, you're blinded by your love for them.
Zav, you thought the game was over too when they had that lead.
I agree, but I look at the
Everyone thought it was over.
but they wore out. TD, they wore out. Jokic had nothing at the end.
He played he needed a rest. That's what it's up.
TD,
He needed a
but who's going
rest.
to come in for him? Who did they have?
If they held that lead smart,
I'm just asking you, who could come in for him?
whatever they always do with the
Who?
bench guys.
TD, they have no bench.
If you bring in Reggie, what they
All
always
right. So this team is so good, they're better. They're going to come back and win the title next year with the same team. That's what you're saying?
I've lost faith in their intelligence. I was shocked at how they blew that.
All right.
I have because they're a better basketball team.
Okay. So let me just tell you. So Jokic has won an MVP. He won another MVP. Then, even though he didn't win the MVP, he was Finals MVP and a historic run. Then he won another MVP this year. Now he's just going to win another MVP and just carry the whole team with no bench and win a title.
He does have a good team.
TD, you're not looking at reality. This Nuggets team is not built for a dynasty. Malone said it. Jokic said it. Tim Connolly, the T-Wolves GM, built the Nuggets. He built the Nuggets. Now he went and built the T-Wolves. Calvin Booth has not created a dynasty team. They had one spark plug off the bench last year. All right? They lost him. They didn't replace him. That's not how you win back-to-back. This is a grind. You completely underestimate what a grind this is to win all these titles. Just look at even all these star players. They fade. It's exhausting. They're not built. You can't just look at the evidence. Look how deep the Mavs are. Doncic has had bad games. TD, they won that game. I think and shot 4 for 26. He didn't even play
That's my
well in game seven.
point. That's
That's
my
but TD,
point.
that's my
And is
point. They
not as
still
good as
won.
everyone says he is. He's not as good as everyone says.
No, TD, you're wrong. TD, players have Jokic had all-time games in game 4 and game 5. His game 5 was as good as I've ever seen him play. He's not going to do that every game. Go back to the 91 finals. Jordan Paxson had a huge game. He won the game 5. It's just you buy into the media where, oh, your star player is going to be star every game and have a good game and play. TD, Jokic, you can't play 48 minutes and carry a team and win titles year after
The
year.
media hates Denver. They never.
No, but my point is, you have this idea that Jokic, one player, could just their whole team revolves around Jokic. You even said that. That's not how you build a dynasty.
What's up? You're acting like they have bums around them. You think Aaron
They
Gordon's
have
not
no
good?
bench. They have no bench. TD, Aaron Gordon relies on Jokic. That's why the second half, when Jokic got tired, he was throwing up those threes. Gordon needs Jokic to be
I agree.
engaged.
No, but he needed that rest, and they had the 20-point
They
lead.
don't have the players, though. TD, the Timberwolves are better. They're better.
Oh,
They beat him in 7 games.
Look at the T-Wolves. What did Ant Edwards do in game 1 yesterday against the Mavs? He's not that good. These guys are not that good, the T-Wolves.
Then why'd they beat him? Why'd they beat him?
Like I said, then obviously they were a close team. It went to game 7.
That's my point. You don't think the Nuggets? Okay, according to you then, but how even Jokic said in the game, he said, what do we have to get better at? Well, we know coaching players. He mentioned personnel. He mentioned personnel.
Obviously, they need more people, but I still think
that's my
they
point.
could have squeezed it through.
They could have.
They should, and they should have. They should have squeezed it.
What if Connolly had not been hurt? Connolly had to sit out games. That was a huge, or at least one game. That was a huge break.
What you're saying, Zav, what you're saying is right. They still should have squeezed it through.
Shouldn't. They had nothing left. TD, when it mattered, when the game mattered, just like against the Lakers had 20-point leads, but when it mattered, the Nuggets pulled through.
When have you ever seen the Nuggets take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 threes?
Because Jokic was tired.
All right.
He was dead. That's
what
just
they needed was this. They needed a timeout right at the start of those ends up. By the way, Malone said after the game,
yes.
You know what he said? His first reaction was, we went away from our offense. He said that. And I said, you're right, Malone.
Yeah, you could nitpick, but there's things Denver could, you could nitpick, but I'm just the basic, if this team is so good, why were they completely exhausted by the second round of the playoffs? If you're this big dynasty that's going to go back to back, the team wasn't built to do this. You just assume, oh, Jokic, he's going to just win title after title. No, go back in history and look. The dynasties have great teams. Guys, you need these guys off the bench to give you 10, 15 points.
I agree.
And they didn't have it. And that's why they lost. That's why they're not winning.
No. I agree. They obviously would benefit from at least a third player off the bench.
They needed it, TD.
But they still managed to have a 20-point lead in a game 7.
But they couldn't finish it off.
All right. And just inexplicably, they just went away from I think personally, if they called a timeout and they said, listen, guys, walk it down, no threes, work the offense, work the shot clock, protect the lead, no stupidity. They're acting like they were down 40 and trying to heave their way back into contention.
The game wasn't close at the end. The Nuggets
the second that lead went, I thought I barely even watched the fourth quarter because I knew it was probably over. I couldn't even watch because the time to win that game was then in the third.
That's my point.
Zav.
Yes,
Zav. MJ never even allowed a game 7.
He had a bench. That's my point.
No, my point is he's such a good winner. He knows. Let me talk, Zav.
All right.
Jordan knows you can never leave a series up to a game 7 because anything can happen. That's why he would go so far out to win those game 6s because he knew anything can happen. So I knew when they blew that lead in the third and it went to, I'm like, fourth quarter of a game 7, you can't allow it to get there. So you have to protect that lead that you got.
And what happened in game 6? The thing Jordan would never let happen. What happened in game 6? They got
Listen,
destroyed. They got destroyed. They ran out of steam. Jokic said it, Malone said it, and if you look at, with your eyes objectively, you could just see they didn't have enough. The T-Wolves, Tim Connolly is a great GM. He
Zav,
built a great
no,
team.
Zav.
So
Yes, they didn't have enough, and they mismanaged not having
yeah,
enough.
but that's nitpicking. It's
Malone
nitpicking.
mismanaged not having enough.
TD, you hate the Wolves beat them. They were better. It's just the way it is. They're TD out of the 4 games in Denver, Minnesota won 3 of them, and they weren't even
Zav,
close.
do you really think Minnesota is a great team? I don't.
No, but they're better than the Nuggets this year.
Oh man.
TD, Connolly and Ant wrapped rings around Jamal Murray and KCP. They're struggling now against. Now they're in for a challenge with Kyrie and Luca. The Nuggets, TD, Jamal Murray doesn't play any defense. So, all right, well, we'll see what people in the comments say.
All right.
The biggest reason the Nuggets lost. Have a good night.
Take it easy.